Anyone who works for CBK? I want to be practical. For CBK, sitakwambia useme jina because sitaki usifutwe kazi. Hakuwezi kosa. Anyone anafanya Kenya National Bureau of Statistics? They are there. Now, wewe na qualification you are CEO. Wewe. Who has more papers? Say it loud, who? Now, then what is it? Why kwa nini usikali? You had the case of Mwabia, I have more papers than you. So, visibility number 1, ni volunteering. Visibility number 2, usikae na chenye unajua. Citizen wanatafuta mtu wa kuhoji stories juu ya economy na uko hapo, enter. Go and give your perspective. Create your kabrad. Start creating your name hapo. As a lady, you'll have such a huge opportunity wavelength that you can't exhaust it. Just by the name. The lady I was telling you I called, who was working for KEPSA that time, actually declined to be PS. It means she had a better position where she was working. Yeah, fungulia maji tafadhali. Nimeshika microphone. So, I don't need to buttress that point further. Najua mnasikia vibaya hata nikiendelea kuiongelea. The simplest way to become CEC finance, simplest. Governor anavai, opinion polls zinaonyesha anaweza win, mtafute umwambie, me I believe in your policies, I just want to craft your manifesto. Give me what you want to achieve. Believe you me, you CPS seated here, you will be CEC finance of your county. If you don't become uniulize. You realize you are the only person because ladies shy away. They shy away because unafanya nini kwa campaign. Then we mwenyewe you think, your camp is full. Huko kumejaa. Akina nani wamejaa kama wewe hau. Don't see political barazas and think, your camp imejaa. No. Haijajaa kwa hiyo nasema wewe chenye wewe unatafuta. It may be full in all the other perspectives, but I can tell you as a practicing politician, it is not full in what I'm talking about. Let me speak about, so media, make me be your friend. Kidogo tu hapo pale nini, ataenda hapo kama AWAC. Budget imesomwa, weenda tu sema story ya AWAC, position of AWAC. Yeah. Na usicheke sana, enda ka stone face kidogo. Position of AWAC. In this budget policy statement, we are saying this. This could have been improved. This could have been done better. You'll create your brand within a very short time. And whichever camp that wins, they will look for you because there are very few people who have created their brand. Now, let me talk to all of us both in private and public sector. There is a lady who I will challenge you to go study about called Sheryl Sandberg. You can write former COO of Facebook or Meta. Sheryl Sandberg. Sheryl Sandberg. Go study about her a little bit. There's something I want to highlight that will help us. This lady was working for World Bank. In 2008, when Facebook was, all of us, majority of us were not on Facebook because we thought it's a small startup, but nothing. It will collapse within a few days. She resigned from World Bank to go in a company that had no structures to set them up. She went there. I want you, saa zingine tusisikize na huyo Sandberg, zisikize na wewe. Ujiweke in your shoes. You have a job paying you $250,000. And some guy is telling you to go and work for a startup. Those guys are not serious. So, she was working for World Bank, a small startup called Facebook. She went there to be the COO, to also help in setting up structures of Meta, or Facebook then. Currently, her net worth is around $3 billion US. $3 billion US is around 420 billion Kenya shillings. Meaning you can buy white sands, useme isiguzwe kitu, lakini imekuwa nyumba yako from today. Now it will not even scratch your net worth. There is something I want you to understand about her, in which I challenge all of us, those who are in the private sector, this is your point. When you are working for a small company or a big one, and you are going into the management, into the top management positions, let us learn as ladies, not just to look for monetary returns. Let's look for equity return. Any CEO of a bank today in Kenya, you are a CEO of a bank, and you're only negotiating your salary. That is not foresight. Negotiate for targets bound up with options of shares. Just tell them, you are making 3 billion profit now, I'll double it, but give me this number of shares after I do that. All these billionaires, majority of them became billionaires out of stock options when it comes to work. You are rewarded through stocks, not just through a salary. This guy, Steve Ballmer of Microsoft, he was an employee of Microsoft. He was employee number 30 of Microsoft. He's now wealthier than Bill Gates. His net worth is higher than the person who started Microsoft. In that company you work for, always negotiate, try. I would feel very good as an owner of a company when the top management comes to me and tell me, wewe, tunatengeneza faida 100 million saa hii. Give us a target to make $1 billion, you give us 20% of your business. I'll be very glad. Because I'll see these are guys who are sharing my dreams. And they are not even asking me to pay them. They're asking me to pay them out of the money they make for me. So learn those things early. Number 2, evaluate your job. You could be in an inflexible position where you are in a hierarchical company. Let's say you work for Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. You are a mid-level manager there. Just try to think about the level of growth that you have to conquer to rise. Sometimes you evaluate and see, do I work for the elephant or do I work for an antelope? An antelope in the financial industry is the company that has the ability to grow in multiples. They have the ability to grow so much, so fast. You evaluate, can I get a 75% cut in my salary, go to a relatively not very old company, negotiate even a stake based on my performance, and within 5 years, you are worthy more than 50 times what you'd be worthy working in the rigidly hierarchical company. You are a DVC of KU. Okay, sawa. DVC of UON. Even if you become VC, can you own UON? You can't. Just imagine that professor of economics there. Just imagine the qualification that person has. But because the society has conditioned us, we want to go for Christmas and say, I'm the DVC of Dedan Kimathi University. But you don't want to say, I am an advisor, let's say, of Coco. Some startup hata hakajulikani vizuri. But maybe the kind of growth you realize here as in multiples of what you can gain on the other side. When these big startups were starting, akina Flutterwave, ile ya Nigeria, just imagine a professor going there to become the advisor, and then they are given a stake. There is a story that's given of a guy who went to paint the offices of Facebook when Zuckerberg was starting. And Zuckerberg akauliza huyu jamaa painter, nikulipe na pesa ama shares? The guy said shares. He's now a dollar millionaire, a painter. So you need to check. Do you need to keep on then, look at your age? Stability, you know, I work for Central Bank of Kenya, the best employer in Kenya, you know. Hey, wewe unaniambia story ya kuresign nini? Mimi hata sikwambii resign kaa. Lakini fanya hesabu, even if you do multiples of your salary, chukua mshahara yako leo, times by 12, and times by the number of years utafanya hiyo kazi. Then tell me, even if you have to be given that money to pay today, would you become wealthy? Then you have eliminated one way of not how to become wealthy. So think about it. Let me go to investments nikimaliza. By the way, now, Sherry Sadberg now runs a venture capital. Venture capital is something I'll be speaking about shortly, because I think we need to capitalize on that. Let me go to investments. I would have told you something about some lady called Lucy Guo. Ni vile nataka kukata sasa points, unaona. Lakini wacha niwasomee kitu kamoja ni screenshot. There is a lady called Lucy Guo. Guo ni G-U-O. Lucy kama tu nyinyi Lucy wewe unajua jina yako. Guo si kuna wenye wanaandika clothes, no, it's G-U-O. Lucy Guo started a company. Is a startup. The lady, she's 31. She's worth around 1.3 billion US dollars. 31-year-old. It's not her first startup. She has done several. But this is what I laughed when I read about her. Just listen to this. She's 31, worth 1.3 billion US dollars. Then, as of 2024, Guo lives in Los Angeles. Now, she was living as a digital nomad for a number of years before buying. That's what I want you to underline. She was living as a digital nomad for a number of years before buying a 6.7 million US dollar apartment in 2020 in Miami, where her parties, sherehe, caused conflict with neighbors. But nilikuwa nataka mpia mshike apartment ilikuwa ya pesa gapi. In 2024, she purchased another $4.2 million home in West Hollywood, and then purchased a 30 USD home, a 30 million United States dollar home in Hollywood Hills in 2025. Unaonaje hapo? We need to elevate our discussions now from talking about I invested in Asako, my 200,000. We must elevate our discussion. And I start my few minutes on the investments. Me husema hivi, based on the age of the many people here, some are our parents, but some are my sisters. Let me talk to all of us. Mimi kwa investments husema, either I'm investing to get a breakthrough, ama niwachane nayo. Kama siingii kutajirika, mi siingii hapo. Na kutajirika ni both ways. I'm risking. Kama siendi hapo nipate multiplications of my money, mi usiniambie mambo ya percentages. Hapo siendi. Because my reasoning is simple. You have 5 million shillings. You buy T-bills and boards. Let's say you buy a board. After 15%. Let's work with 1 million. For simplicity ya mahesabu. After 10. Weka 10. 10 million. Umenunua government instruments. At 15%. That is nominal. Hujaweka inflation. So 15% of 10 million is what? 1.5 million, is it? If you already had 10 million, how will 1.5 change your life? That's usually my reasoning. Aya, uko na 1 million. You already have it, ni pesa yako. Na hauikupata juu ya boards, ulipata kwa njia zingine. So you buy a board of 15%. How much is that? If you already had 1 million, what will 150 do to change your life? So me, I look at it that way. So investments that we have to do, start with, because me naongea na nyinyi watu CPAs wote. Angalia dunia, hewa ya dunia kwanza. Dunia inaenda wapi? Hewa ya dunia kwanza. Economically speaking. Is the world doing monetary easing? Is the world doing monetary tightening? Is the world lowering interest rates? Or is the world raising interest rates? You start there. And the world, don't bother your mind too much. Look at the US. All the other economies, they follow there. You don't need to bother your mind so much at Germany wanafanya nini, bado wataendelea kukiu nyuma ya US. Don't bother with what Spain is doing. They'll do exactly what the US is doing. Because it's a superpower. Start globally. The bigger element of investment is interest rate. And I'll tell you how it affects everything in a short while. So, currently, the world has been lowering interest rates for the last 1 year or so. It's called monetary easing. You are lowering rates, so you are easing money to be in the pockets of people. So what happens when the CBR rate goes from 12% to 8.75%? What happens to boards market? Do they become more attractive or non-attractive? Non-attractive. It's the same. So ukifanya hesabu usifanya yako ya globe hapa kwanza. Because there's very little you can influence as an individual. So you need to be where the world is going first before you even engage your mind into specifics. First, understand, we all have boats. But is there a tide? And where hii tide inapeleka watu upande gani? Because it doesn't matter where you are going. The tide will take you where it is going. So study first. US is doing monetary easing, all the other economies. So fixed income instruments are becoming non-attractive. So the world has money. Capital markets in the world, iweke tu kama kibasket kimoja tu for simplicity of understanding. So this global capital in here in this basket does not know nationalities, is not patriotic, it does not give a damn. They only care about return. So, where is the global money? They have been in boards, especially in the US. Why? Because if you fix your money in the US by buying US government instruments, at the very least you are sure about the fact that you are not going to lose in currency revaluations. Because the US currency is the global benchmark, is the reserve currency. But now they are coming down. So what does BlackRock do? or Blackstone. These are big investment companies in the world. What is Bridgewater doing? What are they doing? You realize when the rates are low, money moves into equities all the time. That's why when the interest rates are coming down, shares are always going up. Because money is moving from fixed income instruments to the equity side. After global, you realize now we are in an era of equities. Now come to national. Kuja Kenya. You can even start regionally, Africa, nini, study them. When you come to Kenya, look at how we are faring. How are the companies reporting their manenos? They are not so badly off because majority are also in the region. So it doesn't matter to them how the Kenyan economy is doing. They are also in the region. Then come to the sectors. Now you come to Kenya, NSE has only 60 companies listed. They are in sectors: agriculturals, automobiles, commercial and allied, insurance, there is banking up there, telecoms, there is energy. All those. In terms of sectors, ile CPA ulipata shule, haikuwa tu ya kufanyia mtu kazi, ilikuwa pia ya kutengeneza pesa. So itumie saa hiyo. Uangalie sekta za Kenya. Wewe ukifikiria as a long-term investor, if you go to agriculturals, what are you looking at? Limuru tea, Kapchorwa tea, Sasini. What do they do? What do they rely on? Rain. Is there anything you can do about rain? Okay, so you think what you can do there. But there is only one component that is good in agriculturals that are listed. But their asset value is too high compared to their share value. So if you buy into Sasini and they sell land, you'll get so much money because it's at a value based on its assets. So you pick, let's say, banking. Banking has been booming in Kenya. It will continue to boom because when you have lazy people in government, when they are raising money, banks become the best beneficiaries because they buy all the bonds. Today I was looking at the ABSA results, which were out yesterday, which was usually Barclays Bank in Kenya. Their investments in government instruments in 1 year has gone up 24%. So they don't need to do anything, these guys. Take money from CBK, give the government, and make your billions. Is it likely to change soon? They may change in terms of interest rate trading to people, etc., but the appetite for money and government in the short term will only raise, especially when we are nearing elections. So how are banks likely to behave? You do your math there. Now, when you're evaluating a company which to buy shares, so umekuja sectors. Let's come to banking. Banking kuna kampuni gapi? KCB Equity, DTB, Standard Chartered. This is how you evaluate when you are buying a share of a bank. This is what you look at as the primary thing. You look at something called price to book value. Price to book value. That's the first. That's the first unit. Price to book value measures. When you're going today to buy a share in this bank, are you buying it at a discount or as a premium? At a premium. That's what price to book value measures. Is there any person here who is so excited about investment to come help me here? If you feel you are so, you really came here to learn, please come. I need 3 to help me do the presentation. 3 of you who will come first. Me hata sitasema kuja ama kuja. One from behind also. Kuja. Please come, doctor. Come. I also need one. Tumpigie makofi tafadhali. Hata siku najua unatuona ukiwa nyuma ya kamera. Because you know, I try as much as possible when I'm invited to such an event, not to come here and talk and go. Because I don't think that is the reason you invited me. You invited me to know something, to be of use to you. So investments are not motivational speeches. Because there is some analysis you need to do by yourself. Can one of you tell me one bank listed in Kenya, which you would prefer, you can buy shares into? KCB. Please write KCB. One more, 3 more. Yes, please raise up your hand. Yes, my sister. Equity. Yes, Co-Bank. Yes, my Absa. Absa ndio ilikuwa Barclays Bank. Yes? NCBA. Very good. Wacha tusimamie hapo. Nataka mchukue simu zenu. I know because we all did CPAs here. Price to book value means price of the share. Just write PB is equals to price of the share, offer, or divide by book value per share. Simply, mimi venye uifanya haraka, or is equals to, it will give you the same answer, is equals to market capitalization or market cap divide by shareholders funds, bracket co-capital, Haya. Shareholders funds is like this. Kwa sababu nataka tumalize hii stories one time. Mkuje hapa tuko 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say you want to start a bank. And the requirement for starting a bank is 5 million shillings. Is it? Tuko 5. So the requirements ya CBK inasema tunataka 5 million ndio tuwape license. So tuchaga kila mtu 1 million. So all our money will be how much? And each will have what percent? 20%. Now this 5 million, that is what is called co-capital or shareholders funds. We are the shareholders, it is our funds. If we start our bank and the bank makes 2 million in profit 1 year, and we decide as shareholders, we are retaining all of it as retained earnings. I want us to be sequential. It is 5 million. We led. In 1 year, we report a profit of 2 million. We meet as board of directors and we decide as shareholders, we are not paying our dividends, we are going to retain earnings. Our shareholders first becomes what? Excellent. You are making my work so easy. So our new shareholders first is, it is still our co-capital. The difference between co-capital and shareholders funds, co-capital usually applies regulatory-wise. CPK will check co-capital. But shareholders funds, for example, if you check co-capital of Equity Bank, it will compare per region. Because it's more of a fulfillment of a condition. But shareholders funds is the most accurate because it looks at the co-capital, plus let's say it is doing bank assurance, that company. The capital in bank assurance also is added. The co-capital in Rwanda is also added if the bank has is in Rwanda. So shareholders funds is a more accurate manner. So I want us to analyze zile mumetupea according to price to book value. The first one was yours. Kila mtu nilimpea yake. Sidio? Ama? Oh, utahado KCB, hado Equity, hado there's one I want, Stand Chart. There's one I want for a reason. And there is also another one I want mutaniruhusu, do Diamond Trust Bank. And these things, I'm not giving you the shares to buy. I'm just telling you what to do to evaluate a share. Just Google for yourselves. Because yako ni equity. KCB. Somebody Google for me, KCB Bank. What is the market cap of KCB Bank now? Because itapiki ile price in a trade kwa NSC today. What is the market cap of KCB now? How much? Weka 249, weka kwa formula, eh? Unaona ile ya is equals to. Now enda kwa KCB. KCB price to book value is equal. I know this sounds like jargons, but believe you me, it will go a long way into optimizing your own money. So, unaona ile formula nilisema, price to book value is equals to market cap of a shareholders funds. All this information is in public. So, weka 249 offer. Somebody check for me, what is KCB Bank shareholders funds up to Q3 of 2025? Because that's the latest. Somebody? Can we say this, eh? Hii row, hata ndio tufanye haraka. Hapa, wewe, my sister, wewe uliweza hawa maswali, utatuletea formula. My sister, wewe yako ni hii. Hawa ni watu wa Equity. Hawa ni wa KCB. Wale ni watu wa Stanchart. My sister go there, Stanchart. Na wauliza maswali, wakugogolie. Na ile ya mwisho, DTB. Hiyo tu formula niliwapea, mimi sasa nataka summary. Hata mimi leo sasa ni examiner. Alafu mwenye anamaliza anakuja haraka. Ndio hii hall iko na CPS tupu. Ukimaliza one time unakuja. Unafanya tu go there tu. What is the market cap of NCBA today? Alafu pale chini, what is the shareholders funds of NCBA up to Q3 2025? Shareholders funds we do up to Q3 2025. Ukimaliza, you just come so that we go to the next thing. We are almost finishing. Ukimaliza, just come. Shareholders funds, ukigogo unaweka up to Q3. Hata AI inakupea tu answer hapo juu, immediate. I think you are done, you guys. You can't take more than 2 minutes. Please come. The returning officers, kujeni. I am sure you are done, and you do your calculator. Haya, kujeni tafadhali. Hata mwenye hajamaliza sasa tumaki hivyo. Just check what is the shareholders funds of KCB group. We are talking about group level, but Stanchart is Stanchart Kenya. Oh, please, Stanchart, you do Stanchart Kenya. Because we are looking at the Kenyan unit. But the rest is group. KCB is group, Equity is group, and the DTB is group. Please say, come now, we finish. Aya. My sister. read for what's...
Thank you very much. For KCB Group, we had the market capital at 249, a shareholders' capital at 308.5 billion, which gives us relatively at 0.78, 8.0, that is 80%.
Yeah, for us at Equity, the market capitalization was 281B. The shareholders' funds, quarter 3 was around 308 billion. That gives us 0.912.
Please, you can help us with the mic. There is one bank which is not here.
DTB, the market capitalization was 43.41 billion. The shareholders' funds was 99.45 billion, giving 0.44 or a 44%.
The last one, Stanchart. Yes. Yes.
We did globally first, so we had to do in Kenyan context. So 133B, and that is by around quarter 3 or 2025. And then the shareholders fund was 63.4B. So you do the math, it comes to, give me a minute, just give me, give me a minute. 133 divided by 3.8B, that is 0. No, sorry. No, 63.8 over 1. Which is what I did.
I know it looks like a mistake, but it's the other way around. Yes.
Yes.
Apana,
No.
it's the other way around.
133.
130, you're 130 something,
Over.
divided by the other one.
Yes. 63.8B.
2.
2.08.
Please write somewhere. There is the reason why. So this is how you look at it. When you get anything below 1, it means it is trading at a discount. Yes, yes, it's good to clap. It means that share by the time you are buying, now before you consider the next final formula I'll give you, it already shows you, hii share nainunua kwa discount ama kwa. It's like hii bank tulisema hapa ya 5 million. Tuseme tunaiuza. Now for her, Equity, KCB, yours was 0.8, meaning it is trading at a discount of 20%. It means our 5 million, na tumechaga leo, tunaanza bank. Mtu akuje atuambie tuuzieni hii bank. How much? Ainunue 4 million. Na tuiuze. So the share, that's how the share of that company is trading today, at a discount. Equity was 0.9 something. It means the share has a 10% discount. Listen to this. DTB first. Can somebody tell me what you mean by that? DTB is 0.4 something. Please, what do you mean by that?
That's like a 5% discount. 50% discount. Like half the price.
Yours?
Stanchart is currently doing a premium of 120%.
Of 100%. So that's one thing you look at. There are many dynamics you look at called dividend payout. Most of the banks that are not local, all of them in Kenya trade at a premium. Why? Because they pay a lot of dividend. When they make profit, they don't retain a lot. Because Stanchart going to Rwanda is not Stanchart Kenya that needs to go there. It is Stanchart Group. So them, they pay the entire dividend because their level of scope of reinvestment is just in Kenya. All the local banks that are not having a transaction happening, all of them, they are trading at a discount. Why? Because our current shareholder in the NSE is very dividend driven. But for a value investor, you can see the kind of value in our local banks. Because look at a bank trading at half its price. That hii bank tunaanza, mtu akuje na below 2.5 million, aseme anataka kuinunua. Na tumetaka pesa saa hii. Tukienda tu kuanza bank, aseme, hii bank yenu niuzieni, how much? At 2.4 million. Na tumetaka sisi 5. Those are the kind of opportunities in the NSC. The last formula for all the shares, beyond profitability, mutajiangalilia na the rest. I'm giving you the very simple one. It's called PE ratio. Usitunyime mafuta. Na my sister, Total Energies. Total is also listed. P ratio net earnings after tax. Have ever made. Do not even use the last year one.